Hello, and welcome back to Coffee House Confidential with me, your hostess, Oni-san Neko, or for my non-weeb or otaku native speakers, Big Sister Neko. In this video, I am covering Chapter 5 of Owning Opulence, and I just want to say reading this chapter alone has forced me to embrace my villain arc. Not only rereading this chapter and making my notes, there have been a few life developments recently in this woman's life, and it just struck a chord with me. So I'm gonna be a little bit more melancholy, or maybe a little bit meaner than normal, but I'm gonna try my best. Let's press on with the video. But before I continue doing that, I have a drink here from Bancha. Okay, I hope I pronounced that correctly. What I got here, the Hot Cocoa, I think is what it's called. It's a healthy smoothie filled with all types of goodness. I can't remember what's in it. I figured going something healthy and trying to rid myself of the nonsense that this book has been putting me through. I'd rather not have a sugary drink. My first time being here. Let's see what it's about. I mainly got this drink because I saw it online. It was very interesting looking. Here we go. Okay. Definitely taste the banana. I'm not a big banana fan. Anyway, I want to get this over with. My first of many notes while reading this chapter is, again, the table of content title and the page number do not correspond yet again. I don't know what's up with her in this book and not double checking, but you know what? We're going to have a repeat of what happened in chapter 2, where she basically gave a disclaimer. And I thought we were past that. Because, like, number one, you don't put that in the book anyway. But since you already did it, I don't understand why you're doing it again. And the table of contents, okay, we are on chapter 6. And it says, be in love with the process of making money. That's on page 81. On page 81, we are still in chapter 5 with the lower and upper echelon. Chapter 6 doesn't begin until page 87. Be in love with the process of making money. Loving the process of making money. I mean, I can see why after this book, everything else was AI assisted. Like, you're so scatterbrained. And it, you know what? Let me stop. I thought we were done with the disclaimers. Clearly we are not. She writes, before you finish this book, I want you to know that I wrote this book at full speed while my son was taking a nap. I don't know how long naps last for children. What was the rush? Like, was there like a group of people screaming for you? You gotta get this done by a certain deadline, or you had like a publisher and some $1 million deal and they needed by midnight and you just had to push this puppy out? I don't understand what you were rushing for. I use Grammarly. Don't you drag Grammarly into this. Grammarly would have caught a good number of this that's going on. As an editor, and I misspell here the same way I do on social media. Again, just excuses for why you are incompetent and you want us to forgive you. Not after I paid $20 for this thing, ma'am. You are supposed to just roll with it and say positive stuff about me on social media. Ain't that some You read a book and you said, damn, this woman is an idiot. And she is literally telling you, hey, just bypass that. And also, you do me a solid and say some positive about me on the internet. Thanks. I mean, at least try to make me look presentable. You ain't make yourself look presentable. What the you want me to do the legwork for you? The struggle is real over here. I just have a lot going on and I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm trying to make this body of work a little decent. Have patience. Ma'am, we're on the second to last chapter here. I mean, if I'm this far, obviously I have the patience of a saint. If you don't give enough of a about what you wrote, why would the reader care? Why are you tasking the reader to fix your reputation as an author? I don't have the right verbiage or the tools to talk about you psychologically speaking, but there's something to be said when a person is that insecure and they know they aren't putting in any effort and they want you to do all the leg work for them.
This suggestion here. Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. This is a suggestion I needed. Thank you. This what y'all need. This the road y'all need to be going down. If you want to help me, tell me how to get my shit up there. Give me your suggestions on what you think about getting my content together. Don't send me a list of resources. Don't tell me what the government can give me for free. I don't want to hear none of that shit because I thought about this shit for a year before I got the situation I am in right now. Remember, I was in my car. So I thought about this shit. I know about every single resource, every single thing. If there is nothing that you could list about my state and what they have to offer us for free that I haven't already looked into. I promise you. Stop listing resources in my chat.
You're just so lazy in life. You're such a failure at trying to make your own self look good that you're telling me, to the reader, to say, but hold on, I know we have high standards for everybody else, but this one here, we need to hold her hand and let her know that, yeah, baby, we see that you tried your best and that's all you can do. And you just want to get a pat on the back and then sent on your way.
Good for you. Thanks.
At the age of 44, going on 45. Moving on to the next paragraph. It took me a long time to love myself. No one has ever loved me. No one. With the exception of my children. Maybe. I think men loved the idea of being with me, but never truly loved me for who I truly am. My mother calls me a loving person, but she never really loved me either. How do you know that? Like, have you ever had a discussion with your mother at all? And mind you, we're talking about all this stuff in a financial book, okay? This is about her owning Opulence, and we are still dealing with her abandonment issues. I'm surprised she recognizes that positive trait in me. She loves my younger sister. The cash for aid system she created for me has nothing on the love she and my sister share with each other. The kind of childhood my sister had affected her to this day. She connects with men, friends, and our family well. I, on the other hand, have learned to apply logic to interaction before I connect. I'm a very quiet person who loves being alone. I don't think I was born that way. I think it's who I've become.
So I try to be honest about my personal experiences, my life, my decisions I made as a mom or a daughter or whatever. I didn't have the best childhood ever, and I tell people all the time, and mainly the reason behind that is because my mother was very neglectful. And of course, when you're a single mom, it's easy for you to be neglectful. But oftentimes, I think back when I was a kid, I was alone a lot. My mother was gone a lot. She was working or out with men, or she wasn't present. Okay, and it affected me as I got older because then she had my little sister, and she was a way better mother to my little sister. She was an amazing mother to my little sister. But also, she wasn't working and she wasn't in a relationship. So it gave her an easy, way to have access to my sister because she was disabled. She was on disability. She couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So it gave her more time to be around my sister. So my sister is like, you could tell my sister was loved and raised very differently from me. And so whenever I talk about my mother and I talk about my experiences with her, it's the truth.
This second paragraph, we're talking about people in her life. No one has ever loved her. Men love the idea of her, which I would love for her to explain. What is the idea of men love about you? Is that they can just kind of go and you don't hassle them? You don't hold men to any standard, or you don't have any expectations out of them, therefore they don't have none out of you? Like, what idea of you do they love? Because they don't seem to stick around. Her mom doesn't love her, and she's jealous of the bond between her mother and her sister. That's very apparent because I'm trying to stick to what's in the book, but like, again, so much has transpired recently that it goes without saying that you're not only jealous of the bond that your mother has with your sister, you're just jealous of that type of connection in general because you don't even have that with your own daughter, and that's well deserved. Because I said it once and I'm gonna say it again, you are offensively and disgustingly jealous of your daughter and everything that she has going on for herself. Your greatest mistake was giving her a father that gave a about her. Even your mother wasn't able to do you that kindness. Then she talks about nonsense, about her childhood and loneliness, and how a neglectful mother was the foundation of being a successful virtual entrepreneur.
Bitch, I'm homeless, living in a hotel.
For like the next 3 paragraphs we got going on here, and it's like back to back. And I don't have to go into details about any of this nonsense. Now here we are on page 89. We're back to talking about her ex again, where she clumsily tries to mask her digs at this man by using examples for her poorly thought out terminology. Did I mention that I dislike, in case you missed the memo, he disgusts me. You got some nerve. One of the main reasons why is because the lack of discipline that he pretended to have. I'm a little disappointed in myself for not recognizing that he had issues because you were desperate, ma'am. People easily just bypass a lot of when you're desperate and lonely. Okay? It's not that hard to figure out, how did I miss all these signs? Ma'am, he was no different than you either because he had some red flags about you and he still hit it raw. Crazy. She continues on in this paragraph where she just keeps digging at this man. We're in the lower echelon stage, if I'm gonna stick with her terminology, where she mentioned in the previous chapter, and this, I guess, is the exploration phase, which is about self-motivation, discipline, and knowing yourself, your products, your services, having strong mental health and self-love. This is me just trying to construct your raggedy book and trying to have your terms and all that kind of flow into each other like a self-help book. You don't say it, you just about this man, but I'm trying to clean it up for you. As a reader, that's not my job. She claims that he faked his diploma, and she says, in quote, he scavenged the earth to find a fraud. Ma'am, how about you get someone to fake a couple of those degrees that you have in here, because you're yet to mention where you got them from, and also having a hard time getting a job despite having these degrees. So, well, maybe you need to find that plug and help your ass out. How about that? Moving on to the next phase is she calls it established. Basically, starting a business, making a profit, especially online. She doesn't talk about it in the real world, like brick and mortar type deal. It's about only building businesses online.
Bitch, I'm homeless.
Which she is very unsuccessful at. If you keep reading forward, she encourages the reader to take financial management classes, which is friggin' backwards at this point in this financial literacy book. Because if she's telling me, the reader who paid for this book, that I need to take financial management classes, that screams to me she, the author, has never taken a financial management class in her fucking life, because you're supposed to be teaching me something. Now you're telling me, oh, I see that you bought this book, but you know what you probably should do? Still find an expert to help you out. On page 91, she then tells the reader to be careful of the Looney Tunes, but reassures them that even their gossiping can bring you more money, which is an absurd thought because the Looney Tunes won't, and we're going to use Looney Tunes loosely, meaning anybody who criticizes you or your business. Looney Tunes won't just come out of nowhere if there's no controversies. You know what I mean? Like people who are just honest and doing, straight business, not trying to fraud, not trying to scam, not trying to do anything of the sort. You won't have an army, I should say, because there'll always be people who have something to say. There'll always be haters, blah, blah, blah. But if you are an upstanding business person and what your products and services are true, Looney Tunes won't just come out of nowhere. So she's telling you, back in, what was that, chapter 2, ruining your reputation can be profitable. I don't know how if that's just not your shtick. But this is her, the woman who's giving me financial advice, who's also telling me I need to go take financial management classes. She fundamentally doesn't understand that your reputation and your business's reputation is everything. You don't want to live in controversy where people are consistently trying to, in your mind, trying to destroy everything that you built. No business person would want that. She writes this, which is very telling for where we are today, which again, I'm gonna try not to bring up current events, but it pisses me off so much that she writes it again in her book, because we already know she's going to be that type of mother, that type of person who would hang something over her children's head, trying to juggle taking care of a teenager and my mother's cancer treatment snatched me off social media right in the middle of me building a new fan base on TikTok. This disappointed me and delayed the release of my book. I literally rewrote this chapter to include what I'm explaining. It's a teachable moment. Even though I'm in the upper echelon phase of life, I still have setbacks as if I'm in the first stage of my life. She's back to blaming her son, her sickly mother, for getting in the way of her dreams again. We're gonna put a pin in her mentioning she is currently in the upper echelon stage of her life at this point. When this book come out in 2018, this book came out in 2022, and she's in the upper echelon stage of her life. Then other times I'm angry at the people around me that distract me from working on things that I need to in order to master my craft. So people around her at this time, people around her are a distraction. They're getting in the way of her dreams. She wished they would just basically go off so she can focus on what she needs to do. I know I wasn't supposed to bring this up, but I am. You ain't got your mother around. You also ain't got your daughter around. And I promise you, your son won't be around either. And you can truly work on your craft at 44. You know, being a social media, whatever the She continues to prattle on about how people view you, their expectations of you, ignoring comments and suggestions, even if they're for your betterment. But don't take heed if you feel bad. You know, if it makes you feel bad, don't listen to any of the suggestions that people, you know, make to you. Don't listen to any comments, because your feelings is what matters most. It's not about common sense. It's about your feelings right now. And then we'll worry about consequences afterwards. Throughout this book / her life, I've grown to hate a couple of phrases that she says consistently, but none surpasses the perception of reality. I hate when she keeps saying, I can't change your perception of reality, from the woman who disassociates at a moment's notice when is too real. It's another one of her sayings that she uses interchangeably, and she uses it wrong. Reality refers to the objective world and the facts that exist independently of our own thoughts and feelings. Perception. Perception is how we interpret it and understand the world through our senses and our experiences. And then you have opinion. An opinion is a personal judgment or belief about something which is subjective and can vary from person to person. When she hears criticism, especially when it's about her, she says, I cannot change your perception of reality. She is trying to say, I can't change your opinion of me. That's what you should be saying. It's not my perception of reality. I see what's happening here. I see the facts that are happening. You're a piss poor mother. That's a fact. Through your own admission. It's not something that I have to extrapolate or anything. It's not something that I'm trying to spread rumors or try to guess at. You say things, you do things, you admit to things, and it goes, well, that's not how a parent, uh, and a mother, how a parent should operate if they love their children. It goes without saying, your love is transactional on all fronts, not just with men. Your love is transactional with your family and with your friends. And that's why people have no problem just packing up their shit and just walking the your life and ain't thinking twice about it. Page 93. This is further proof that the author clearly has been and is currently suffering from a relationship disillusion and crisis regarding the perception of reality. The best of us is still struggling with balancing our business and family life. Some of us have even attempted to include our family only to discover how uninterested they are in what you are doing. Don't take it personally. Becoming a virtual entrepreneur means you can create a virtual support system as well, meaning begging for people online, to give their money to you. That's the support system. I'm very disconnected from my birth family, so I heavily depend on my virtual one, which is who? Especially when it comes to my business. I use the majority of my screen time for professional reasons. Then other times I engage with my virtual family. You don't have a virtual family, ma'am. You don't. And you know what? I'll take it like this. Let's say you do have a virtual family. How many of those people have been around you consistently, like throughout the years? Like, who in your audience right now do you have like a close relationship with? You know what I mean? Like, who do you have? I know you got that weirdo, what's his name? Michael Hurt. Are you and this man like remotely close? Are you guys like even friends? Like, people making friends with strangers online happens all the time. It's not weird. It's just a natural occurrence. Like when you see someone over and over and over again, it's like that with me and people who come to my comments section when I stream on Twitch. When I see the same folks over and over again, you just start to naturally build, I don't want to say a connection, and you become friends, you start talking more, and you get a little bit more personal. Do you have any of that? Because you use the word family, and I think you just say that because you hope it resonates with someone else so that you can manipulate them. You're going on about how your family isn't interested, but you just said not too long ago, your mother doesn't love you. So why would she be interested? Isn't that kind of par for the course? And I'll reiterate, your virtual support system, people online who know nothing about you, you don't know nothing about them, and will believe whatever persona you portray in hopes that they will give you money. Much like your network that you mentioned in chapter 2. You just want people to siphon money from. I don't understand why you won't just be real with it. Because you're not clever. Page 95. She goes from being organized to blaming others for her being OCD. She has no idea what OCD means. She says, when you live with the people I live with, it is damn near impossible to even keep my desk clean. They chastise me for my obsessive compulsive disorder. To me, cleanliness is next to godliness. I shower every couple of hours if it didn't destroy my skin. Trust me, I've tried. I've rubbed my skin raw 1 week a few years back, all from bathing too Ma'am, you talk about being organized and blaming others for you having OCD. You do not have OCD. Let me explain it to you. Okay? Obsessive compulsive disorder can be someone who, just before they go to bed at night, they flick the light switch on 10 times before they go to bed. Otherwise, they believe that their mother is going to die in their sleep. You being clean, what you're not. I ain't gonna keep letting you lie to me like this. In the next couple of pages, she goes on about how she learned basic HTML code in her early 20s via MySpace. She learned everything is basic, right? She learned basic graphic design, photo editing, photography. She tells the reader to learn SEO and cloud computing, but doesn't go into detail as to why we should learn this or even really explain what that is. You're using these terms. I literally don't know what that is. Even if you don't know, like off the top of your head, could you at least put that information in the book so at least I would know? But instead, you want me to look this stuff up. It's like you just throw out terms and just like, you know what this is, right? No, I don't. That's why I bought the book. So I can learn something from this. You're just throwing out jargon and being like, have at it. It's social media management, again, why? And it's kind of funny that she talks about what she learned that doesn't stem from her college days. Like she's talking about how she learned HTML coding and photography and all that crap, but she's not talking about what she learned in college. It sounds like some that you just picked up, just fumbling around on the computer and looking up online. You said you went to college, you said you got these degrees, but you never talk about what you learned in those classes, or even what you did learn, what was or wasn't beneficial. I'm almost done because this is a big fat nothing burger. Okay. On page 97, she writes this: the easiest way to become computer literate is to pay attention to social media and the things the people like you are doing. I named some of my favorite social media personalities earlier. Their tips also rock. I've learned so much by watching a handful of people on Instagram. You can also use sites like Skillshare. It's a learning community for people who want to learn from educational videos. Like I just said, she's talking about all the places that she learned from, except for college or even the trade school. Everything you've learned has been on the internet, like most people. The thing that triggers me the most about this sentence is that computer literacy encompasses the knowledge and skills needed to operate computers and utilize related technologies efficiently and effectively, which is different from digital literacy, which is what she's talking about right here. Digital literacy, which focuses on the ability to use digital tools and resources effectively, including social media and online communication. Computer literacy is basically, knowing how to use a mouse, knowing how to use an Excel spreadsheet, knowing how to print. But digital literacy is all this stuff that she's talking about here, social media and trends and all that. Two different things, yet again, ma'am, that you're using interchangeably. Well, you don't even use digital literacy because I don't even think you knew that existed. On page 97, she writes this little number. To me, the institution of marriage is a business. If it wasn't getting a license to do it would be unnecessary. It is a business partnership. I suggest you choose your husband or wife wisely. Don't just choose someone you love, choose someone you love to talk to and be around. Maybe it's just me, but if I love someone, I'm assuming I also love to be around them and talk to them. It's crazy that at this point, she has to just insert a little marriage tangent just for her to continue to vent about how a man who made $12 an hour with Edie left her. We're on our way out of this. Page 98, she then writes this: home ownership to me is a mind fuck. Before you lose your shit and try to convince me I'm wrong, hear me out, because my thing is land. And you are currently living in a hotel after you were living, a year or two in a car that got repoed on Christmas.
You know what? It kind of makes sense why you hate houses so much, because you ain't never got one. So maybe you're on to something. Maybe this is just your personal gripe. I ain't got no problem with houses, and I guess because I don't hate them, I'm always in one. It's such a wild thing to hear the hobo specialist telling me, the reader, that owning a home is stupid. Okay, but like in the back of the guy book, you said you living in a mansion. So what? Are mansions not homes? Skipping. I'm not reading none of this stuff about her talking about homes and putting in percentages and what is this, HOA fees? Girl, here we are on page 100, and this point right here is her biggest problem. So listen up, ma'am. What keeps a lot of people from being successful is they expect it to come fast. Yeah, some people do think that. And some people also don't know when to quit. Like, when are you gonna get the hint? I mean, yeah, you wrote a book, okay, and this book has led you into living into a hotel, begging for $200 a day, but you don't want to own a home though, or even trying to get your ass into an apartment though. You expect a lot of stuff to happen overnight, just because when you finally decide you want to do it. And I'm talking about government programs, because you mentioned that in this book too, so this is relevant to today. What was that, chapter 3, I think? You specify how you were trying to get food stamps and all this other government assistance, and you stopped doing it because of the paperwork. And it's crazy that you stopped, because at this time your mama was living with you. As of recently, you were doing the same processes again, and you were doing it by yourself, and you were complaining how you have no one to help you. You are a 44-year-old. How do you not know how to fill out applications? This only makes me think that, just like how what you're doing to your child, your mother has crippled you, shielded you from a lot of like adult to the point where you're completely incompetent. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but it is what it is. And you yelling to people about, when they suggest to you to go for government programs and blah, 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 you start yelling at them, lashing out really. When you finally woke up and want to do something about your child and your situation, now you're trying to do something about it, and you're mad that it takes 60 to 90 plus days to even get the process done. And it's like, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're last minute on a lot of things and you think people are going to jump up and do stuff for you. You over here trying to fast track your way to fame by buying subscribers and blocking any real people that you have, because your ego and your feelings can't take it when someone says something that you don't agree with, or even that is a direct criticism or view, or you mistakenly taking it as a direct criticism of you. But you want success. You are undeserving of success. You just aren't supposed to have it. I mean, you can play whatever you want in your head, but you're not designed for it. You're not supposed to have it. If you were, you would have had it by now. But stuff like that happens to good people, and you're just not a good person. All that meditation that you do, you would have realized that the issue is you, and it's always been you. It's no one else get in the way of your success. You're just an unlikable person. Yeah, that's the end of chapter page 100 is the last of the book, and I kind of skipped ahead to the final chapter, and you know what she does, there's no mention of the master stage. That's the chapter. Nothing in there talked about loving the process of making money. You about your family, you about your ex, you told us not to want to own homes, you shouted out a bunch of IG people with the actual @ sign. We can't click on the @ to see the profiles in the book, right? You could have just said their names like a normal human being, and you sat up there and told us about all your shortcomings. But please, when you read this book, I beg of you, say nice things about me. No. Your job is to make sure your own image is maintained, not that other people come in and fix it for you. I mean, don't you say you got social media managers? Ain't they doing their job? Upholding your public image? That's the end of this chapter. I know ALS, when she was here, she mentioned that in previous videos that she wrote this book backward. These chapters are informational based, despite whatever little bit of information they could put in this thing, but like she just doesn't go into it. She doesn't go into it at all. Like, you bring it up, like, explain yourself. You can't just talk and say phrases and tossing out terminologies and you don't elaborate. That shows that you're just a terrible communicator. It's your job to explain to me and not get frustrated when people have questions. This is the problem with you and why you are a terrible and unsuccessful social media personality. I mean, back in your day, you had the controversy and you lived in that. You thrived in it. And at that time, that's when you should have been doing damage control. But for you, any attention was good attention. I know I mentioned there's a couple of life events that's been going on with you that I have been watching and recording.
Bitch. I'm living in a hotel.
A lot of it I don't want to discuss because it will be part of a larger project. As I mentioned, I am in my villain era, and this book here is coming to a close. All I have is one more chapter left. Hopefully I can get to it before the year is out. We shall see. But also, I wanted to share this with you. I think it might have been last year or so. You were going on and on about you and your books, how nobody's buying your books, blah, blah, blah. And there was, what was the book that was out at the time? Marry Rich, I believe. And you mentioned during, like, I forgot what part of the year it was. It might have been March or February, I don't know. You only made one sale of that book. That one sale was me. And let me tell you, look at this thin shit. There's nothing to this thing. Even at least on Opulence was a little bit thicker. Well, this is a bad. Even this right here. I haven't looked through this thing yet. I bought it and I just screamed about how this thing is. There's like nothing here. You did the same before with this book. With at the very bottom, you didn't stretch out the image. So there's like a black line here. You did that again. You told me to go myself because there's nothing in the back of the book to read besides this website, which is more than likely no longer up because you got to pay for it. So again, I have not read this at all. I do not know what's going on in this book, but I do want to do something really quick before I go on with my life. We got the front cover, Marry Rich. The secret strategies revealed, says the unmarried homeless woman. This is how fresh it is because I haven't even creased it in yet. Oh, all right. Well, in case you missed the cover, you're going to get it again. I guess now we're about to get into the book, aren't we? Are we about to get into the book? Oh, nope, not yet. The LLC and the website. Oh, one more time. In case you didn't catch it the first two times, I want you to know that you're reading Marry Rich. This is your AI book. Oh, so what we see here, we did learn some things. I know this isn't your second book. I think your second book was what? Her? I wasn't reading that. So what we got here is that the spacing is normal from what I'm seeing. I mean, the alignment is a little bit off, but it is what it is. You got page numbers as they should be, right? No pictures. There's also no table of contents either. Hold on. Yeah, after the introduction, we just go straight into chapter 1. I guess I could read the chapter titles only. Chapter 1, Understanding Financially Successful Men. I want you to name one that you've met. Damn, that was only, how many pages is that? That was only 5 pages? Wait, what's the page count on this? Okay, so the true page count is 58. Chapter 2, The 4 Types of Women Successful Men Settle Down With. I guess that's why you're still single. Okay. Chapter 3, The Type of Women Successful Men Avoid. Oh, this your chapter, ain't it? Oh, man. Oh, God. I'm just reading some of these bold. Oh, no. This is supposed to be about owning opulence, but now it's slightly turned into Marry Rich. Hold on. I'm going to just read the little bolds that she got going on right here. So this is chapter 3, The Types of Women Successful Men Avoid. Independence and Confidence. Okay. Lack of ambition and drive. Overemphasis on materialism. Incompatibility and mismatched interests. Emotional imbalance and drama. Insecurity and low self-esteem. Okay. Chapter 4, Behaviors you might need to change. Chapter 5, Etiquette and social graces. And in here, Oh, she's the AI was going nuts with the bolding over here. What is this? This is still within the same chapter. That really stood out to me. Wardrobe malfunction? Your social media presence. Oh, damn. That's what got you. Places to find wealthy and successful men. I almost wanted to read this. I ain't gonna read it. I'm gonna wait. Chapter 9, nurturing and sustaining the relationship. Chapter 10, marrying into wealth. I think that's the last chapter. Yeah. And then you got the conclusion. Then we got Joe Big Head in the back. UI UX design, Northern California. I swear, you sure do love these AI photos of you. One day, after I finish with this, take me a break. This could easily be a one and done. And the crazy thing is, that's not the only one of your books that I bought. But anyway, thank you all for coming back. Now, since things are a little bit slower for me at work, I can go back to creating my own little fun stuff, and still try to expand on what I want to do with the channel. But I know a lot of y'all are here for this hot garbage, and I appreciate you for being here. So, thank you all, and have a wonderful day. Janet.